If you don't know, Chapter 5 of Poppy Playtime is slowly approaching, and more precisely, it will be released in 2026. Before Chapter 5, it's worth discussing characters that may appear there and what roles they will play. Today, we'll focus on the Nightmare Critters. These are characters that already appeared in Chapter 4. We'll discuss how and why they were created, who they are, what their character traits are, and which of them may appear in Chapter 5. Before we start, I encourage you to subscribe and give a like. Without further delay, let's get into the video. So first, let's explain who these critters really are. Nightmare Critters were created a few years before the collapse of Playtime Corporation. Playtime employees aim to create a new, attractive and stable product line that will save the company from financial downfall. One of the notes states that Playtime Co did not want to create dark versions of its characters. However, another note denies these intentions and priorities. Apparently, teenagers and college students were exchanging VHS tapes of the cartoon SmilingCritters. Therefore, Playtime Co most likely changed its original beliefs and created Nightmare Critters with this audience in mind. However, after their release, they did not do very well, which further weakened the company, and after Hour of Joy, the company completely collapsed. Playtime Corporation created 8 Nightmare Critters. First one is Baba Chops. Baba is the black sheep of the bunch. Baba prefers to keep her space, like a lot of space. Too much of space. She can be distant, quiet, low energy, and it usually requires a lot of coaxing to get her out of the house. Luckily for her, she has some very persistent friends. She usually perks up after a while, but the next day we're coming back to the same town. She has a skull-shaped pendant, and if you don't know, these pendants have different stands. In this case, it's Ennis. Second one is Maggie Mako. Maggie is always thinking about her belly. She's the happiest with food in her mouth. And believe us, she's not picky. She loves sweets, but veggies, yuck. Don't be surprised if she takes your healthy eating habits advice with a dabble of sugar, some chocolate syrup, whipped cream and a big cherry on top, all while laughing at you profusely. She has a chocolate-scented shark tooth pendant. Third one is Rabie Baby. Rabie Baby couldn't keep a secret if her life depended on it. If there's one thing in the world she loves, it's gossiping. And she's very practiced at it. She has no concept of privacy or boundaries. And if she's in the room, you can bet she's eavesdropping on someone. Don't worry, if she runs off juicy secrets to talk about, she'll just make some up. She has a bloody drop-shaped pendant that smells like bubblegum. Fourth one is Simon Smoke. Simon Smoke knows he's cool and popular. He makes sure nobody ever forgets it. Whether showing off for friends or just bragging about one of accomplishments, it's always a popularity contest with him. Almost always he wins. In truth, he's a colossal jerk, but he does have a knack for getting away with being one. He has a dollar-shaped charm that smells like wood smoke. Fifth one is Toullie. Toullie is the self-proclaimed trash rodent. When he's not busy eating and collecting garbage, he's a lively conversationalist. He talks a lot, which is made the all surprising by him, having shockingly little to say. If you ever need someone to provide instinctful commentary or some random piece of junk, Toullie is your guy. He has a fish-shaped pendant that smells like petrichor. Next off the list is Powie. Powie hates the sun and thinks it's a cruel trick of nature that world needs it in the first place. Most comfortable in the dark. They spend their nights hanging around graveyards, listening to music and feeling vaguely angry at nothing in particular. They insist it isn't a phase. He has a cinnamon-scented storm-cloud pendant. On the 7th place is Allister Gator. Allister's an all-around lazy guy. He's chill, sure, but if he could, he'd spend all day in the water doing pretty much nothing. He isn't a fan of the whole put in effort and see that effort rewarded, but is much more a believer of the philosophy good things have to come to me eventually, I just need to wait for it. He's still waiting. He has a pendant in the shape of crossed bones that smells like sandalwood. 8. And the last one of the list is Icky Licky. Icky's the type of kid to fall behind in the real race and immediately pin it on a sore knee, even when that's not the case. He's the very definition of a poor sport, even though he's naturally talented. He's constantly challenging everyone on absolutely everything, and usually without the outcome he expects. Don't worry, has an excuse ready. He has a coffee stand and biohazard pendant. So we first encounter nightmare critters in prison. When on the doctor's orders, nightmare critters appear for the first time and attack the player. Our goal is to repel them with a flare hunt. After some time, during which the player is tested by the doctor, he orders the attack to be suspended, causing the plush toys of the nightmare critters to back off. When the player enters the holding area where other experimental critters are imprisoned in cages, Sawyer sends in the large lava chops, while the player tries to find batteries to restore power and leave the place. Baba makes bleating sounds and screams, trying to kill the player until they generate enough power to open the door and escape to the room with the capsule containing Simon Smoke's stuffed toy, where we have a choice to either kill him, after which the door will open and they will be able to go to the elevator, or spare him and escape through the top. After which, you will also go to the elevator. That was the last time we encountered nightmare critters. And now, will they appear in Chapter 5? I think it's a 50-50% chance. Because in Chapter 5, we already have familiar characters such as Huggy Wuggy and the prototype. But I think there's a chance that the giant body from one of the nightmare critters, such as Boba Chops, could appear. So I think that's all for this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think some bigger bodies of nightmare critters will appear in Chapter 5? And also, let me know which nightmare critter is your favorite. I think mine is Toullie. By the way, let me know what I should cover in the next video. Thanks for watching, bye!